if we don't do 2 chapters today, I might like disappear from Earth.
Damn, great way to guilt
If we
trip
don't do
us.
2, may God murder my children.
You don't have
No, let's throw in a third one. If we don't do
Shush.
2,
Read.
the courtroom bombing, the courtroom bombing incident, a terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. The text was moving so slow for my fast-reading eyes.
For my fast-ass mouth.
Just wait till
Ted was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing.
Right about that nigga already.
If only it were that simple. Somehow, I can't help but think.
He's a bit abstract, bitches.
I'm laughing.
That there's a darker influence at work, one that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I've got more than a few personal stakes in it.
Ooh, we're in space?
Let's go! I always knew One Piece would go to space eventually.
That's gonna be the final arc.
Oh damn,
Space.
Africa?
Oh, I get it. That's why his name is Apollo.
1 hour remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Trying to see if any funny business happens.
Everything's okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
Is that Yuri?
Blows up. Did everyone in that building?
Nigga, that was Tablez.
Do you copy?
Among Us.
I gotta resist the urge to make a tragedy reference.
Great.
Lethal Company.
You're in the cafeteria.
Lethal
This is no.
Content warning.
Boom, boom.
Dude, record it, dude.
Dear, oh dear, that seems to be.
Was it that funny, Darian?
And
You
here
sound
we
like
are.
a fucking
anymore.
hater,
Listen
nigga.
there.
You sound like a hater. Anyways, it's December 16th, 9.
December 16, 9:12 p.m.
This dude's like, that's my job.
Read.
Time for another announcement. Sorry. Time for another trial to begin.
Holy shit!
This one is different. We're starting with a trial off the bat. Let's go.
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, it's just her.
What the Sigma?
What
Are
the
you
shit?
alright, Apollo?
Was I making a scary face just now?
Pull your damn pigtails.
Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah, I'm fine. I was just doing my cords of steel exercises. Now I'm all ready to go!
I ain't Mark, but yes. I'm sure, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. It ain't weed this time, I promise.
Damn it.
Is this a lotus root?
That's right. My grandma says that lotus root is good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future.
I already looked through.
It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it and...
Thanks for this. I'm gonna go have some right now.
Maybe
said I'm gonna eat it.
raw lotus root.
Oh my!
Just chew that shit right now. You did.
Oh, it's got a little kick to it.
You can't eat it raw, but
Salmonella.
thank you for the enthusiastic try.
Oh shit. She didn't think me weird before, and she will now. I gotta calm down. I gotta lock in.
Apollo. I'm sorry I'm late.
Hi, Athena.
Uni. I didn't know you were coming today. You didn't want to be in this place. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it. You sly little thing, you.
Oh shit.
Athena, stop.
Yeah, quick kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set?
Steady
Oh,
trolling.
Apollo. When will you ever figure it out, Flo?
Figure out what?
You guys like, ha.
Hung, hung, hung. Hung.
Car. Beep beep.
I just
Wow,
thought of a video.
that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. When you want attention.
Oh, space.
Dude. Blue.
This is it. It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty.
First time we had a first nigga.
This is our client, one Mr. Solomon Soul Starbucks. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and different person. So what, is he like the Larry of Apollo? The scene of the crime
Not even
this
close.
time. The scene of the crime this time, bars, happened to be the Cosmos Space Center.
No one can replace him.
Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much.
Was that high school?
That's where he met Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel, and he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. Bruh. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero.
My hero?
Academia?
Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo?
Fuck no.
Of course
But I
I'm
had no
sure.
choice.
Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck.
I'm not asking you, right?
I know you're not the type to commit murder.
Thanks, but... Oh...
What is he breathing oxygen all the time in space?
I was supposed to be in space right now. Oh...
I don't want to be on Earth, man.
Leave. Why is he outside so
Goodness.
much?
Goodness,
So-
it's perfect blue.
He's so depressed, it almost seems like an act.
Damn.
Launch getting called off must have been a huge shock.
I'll probably never get the chance to go to space again.
Don't say that. Don't stop believing.
Believe it!
Besides, you have to go into space again. I mean, you just have to go into space again. Damn.
Yeah. I don't think I can face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Sorry, that was a little bit too much Darian. I'm still working on it.
Clay Terran. I can't believe he was murdered. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Such a shonen protagonist. Face.
Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck."
Goodness.
How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh?
I've never seen Mr. Starbuck so down.
I've never seen anyone so down.
Clay's gone. I'm going to prison. I wish I could just burn up like a shooting star right now.
Shit, me too, bro.
Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine.
Oh, what is it? What's with the yelling?
Shit, I was supposed to yell that. I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. In exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise?
Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence?
Shit, nigga.
Did you see Starbucks' head is like shaped like a rocket? Do you see it?
I see it. I saw it.
About that.
Well, actually.
Hold on, I'm in a different window.
Didn't get to investigate the area as much as I'd have liked, thanks to the police.
No evidence. Let's go.
Policia. I'm done for. I'm a gunner. Everybody thinks I did it. Though I was gonna soar like a comet, but I'm gonna crash like a meteorite.
Oh, that's a bar.
Get it? He's an astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. I see it. He got the astronaut bars. He's out of this world. I didn't even get to read the line.
Don't count yourself out yet, man.
Yeah, I know it's hard to lose a teammate. Yeah, because that's what happened. But you've got to keep going.
Norway.
And what about you? Talking about losing you, Apollo.
What about me?
I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend?
Oh, we need to focus on the trial right now. Are you all ready to go?
Apollo.
So remember that trial shit? Yeah, that's starting. Get your ass in here before I get mad.
Okay, here we go.
Before I get pissed off.
Oh shit.
This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose. Loses.
I say that about all the.
For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer.
It's like that scene from Fresh Prince where Will and Carlton get thrown in jail, and then it's just it's Starbuck and
Fresh-
Apollo.
Fresh Prince was so good.
Yeah, Apollo just got sent to jail for whatever. Is Apollo still like in his like time skip design?
You mean punished Apollo?
Punished
Yeah.
Apollo?
Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck.
Oh yeah, he's punished Apollo.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Judge.
Hey yo, Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor.
What the fuck's wrong with your eye, my nigga?
Weren't you not there for that?
I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Answer my question.
You good, my nigga? Cause I don't.
I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready.
They had to slightly change his sprite because normally you can't see Apollo's other eye, but the main eye that you see is covered up, so they have to like shift the perspective of how he looks at the defense bench. If you didn't notice.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Really? Alright, I always remember seeing his other eye, but maybe I'm. How does it?
He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's a eye. Just a...
Shit, if you ain't gonna talk about it, my nigga, I guess. Maybe he's just on his period.
Bro.
Dot, dot.
Yeah, those
Ah,
cramps, they're bad.
Sperm cramps?
We're-
Just, they suck.
Very well. And the prosecution?
This dude.
My honest reaction.
The prosecution appears to not give a fuck, but we don't care.
Dang.
Don't break it now.
He's already in he's already in V trigger using silence.
We didn't even start.
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet.
Oh shit, that's a first.
What?
Oh, you're always ready.
Oh shit, he's popping install early.
What's that character that
We're
like
so
has
fucked.
the cuffs
The
on them?
bomb
Is
cases
it
you-
Cody?
What'd you say? Oh yeah, Cody.
Is this just what happens when Cody breaks the shackles?
The prosecution is now ready.
You had to
He's
charge
waiting
up
for
real
the
quick.
I feel like I lost my
He's like-
Zyko voice again. I don't know how this keeps happening.
But
I mean,
it didn't
just
take
pretend
him
you're
this
Shadow.
long. It
You'll
didn't take
find
him
it
this
again, you'll
long
find it
time to
again.
charge up.
What's up with Blackwell?
What's up with you?
Punished Apollo versus unshackled Blackwell.
Hey, yo, that's about to be like 15 chapters. Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
He's actually gonna do his job?
I'll do it.
Did you get punished?
You will? What an unexpected surprise.
Win your
This
job?
time, I can't leave it to anyone else.
I see. Mm.
Fuck.
Something is off with the two of you today.
Blackwell doing his job and Apollo not
Both
saying
locked
jack
in,
shit.
That's why.
They're locked in. You both seem different somehow. Something about your aura.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your opening statement, if you would.
It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center.
That famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right?
Astronomy. It's astronomy. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site,
Blows up!
two explosive devices were detonated, and the launch was cancelled.
My word! 2 bombs? How dreadful.
I got 2 bombs, one for the ship and one for the... Damn, I lost it.
Foster?
The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder.
One for the ship and one for the trial.
One Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever inane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in.
Solomon Starbuck? I recognize that name. Isn't he that famous astronaut?
Correct, your boldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend.
Oh, I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity, right? They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. We got a real space pioneer in court today.
But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand.
Yes, the victim was one Mr. Clay Turan, a subordinate of the defendant.
Indeed, a loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor.
Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing?
Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. And so, he was sent not into space, but to the universe which we mortals cannot see.
Clay.
I think I've heard enough. The case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there's one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand.
The bombs?
What purpose does it serve exactly?
Since you asked so nicely,
I would never tell.
it's your coffin.
Wow.
I jest. It's just evidence. Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get into the contents of the box in due time.
Ooh,
Judgy.
I feel like I just lost 50 years off my life.
Does he even have 50 years left to live?
Dang. Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue.
thought bubbles, blue text.
Square box. Enough jabbering. Just summon that nigga.
That's just how he summons him, like a dog.
Bobby Bing Boing, in the name and justice we trust.
Ah, Detective Fulbright.
I haven't seen you since the Heian era.
I haven't seen you since Sendai. Very well then. Please explain the details of this incident to the court, if you would.
On it, first take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Here we are.
Hope there's no secret 7th floor.
For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of this building, take a look at this cross-section that we, the police, have created. See the launch pad in the main building? The launch pad is the square building, and around it... Oh.
The judge. Josh.
The launch pad is the square building, and the rounded structure is the main building, right? This looks familiar, but I won't bring it up.
You got it. The incidents took place in Launch Pad 1 and in the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. I'll make it easier to understand. It'll make it easier to
A
understand.
cross-section view of the main building of Space Center and Launchpad 1.
Shit, we got evidence, guys.
Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom! Boom! On the second floor of the Space Center's main building and 1 in Launchpad 1. Thankfully, only the two astronauts were in Launchpad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death.
A murder on top of a bombing? Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct?
Yep. Thinking he'd sabotaged the bombing, the defendant killed him right there in the rocket. Just look at this tragic photo.
Oh my! Is that a knife in the victim's chest?
Yes, Your Honor. It's a knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams. We couldn't get any prints of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit.
The victim's blood was found on this blade, but no fingerprints could be lifted.
By the way, Detective Fulbright, why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photograph?
We had to remove them to identify them, Your Honor. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all.
Yes, it would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What the hell is this round thing next to the victim in this photo?
The Mega Man
Something
cannon.
so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case.
I see.
So, we know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. Where was the bomb that was in Launchpad 1 located?
That was on the rocket itself. It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram report into the record.
The explosion sparked a fire on the second floor of the main building and the middle level of the launch pad near the elevator.
Trials just started and we're already fucked.
And you get used to it. Besides, Besides, that's what the cross-examination is for, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing. That'll be the key.
Let's press everything. Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom! Boom!
Bum clap.
The police.
How powerful were the explosions?
Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down. But the room it went off in was burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
Was burned neighborish.
Due in large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation.
Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright?
I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there wherever and whenever people need my help. I'd go to the other side of the world or even the edge of the universe.
I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. Dang, but I guess I'll leave that one alone.
Admirable decision, Justice Dono.
He just read my mind?
Huh?
He
What do
can
you
mind reading
decide?
Yeah, okay. Anyway, could you describe what it was like? Could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at the time?
The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators in the 3rd floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. Oh my god. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup.
How did the evacuation go?
I immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter.
The basement shelter?
The basement shelter. There's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center.
The basement shelter. Oh, here it is. At the bottom of the diagram.
There's that secret
Right.
7th floor you were talking about.
Oh shit, you're right. The Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own 7th floor.
The bombs went off despite tight security. Police officers and Wright police who had been standing by gave the evacuation instrucciones.
Power outage and the evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'll leave that aside for now. So there were 2 explosions in total, correct?
Yep, that's right.
One on the 2nd floor of the Space Center's main building and one in the launch pad.
Hold it!
Okay, let me get this straight. Mr. Starbucks rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives. You actually believe that?
Huh? What are you talking about?
The
You just pissed.
defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket. He'd get caught in the explosion as well.
I mean, that's what happened.
Oh, damn, my dumbass ain't thought of that.
Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright, the motive.
Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia.
Astrophobia? What's that?
Well, after the a fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up. And so, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute.
That's absurd.
Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these.
Perk 30
Molly.
What are they?
These anti-anxiety pills were found among the defendant's possessions. Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears.
There were a
Shit, me
multitude
have
of
some of
problems
those.
with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Rumor has it, it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship.
Silence.
The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name now, could he? No, not after the media had branded him Sol Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt.
What? So that's why you think he resorted to the bombing?
Naturally, he constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the Space Center, which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation.
Ugh.
Now, I'm sure you understand why we have to bring justice down on this atrocious criminal.
Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launchpad 1 at the time.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was only the 2 of them?
It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so of course it was only those 2.
Well, there could have been somebody else on inside that rocket.
Silence.
No.
The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so.
A fingerprint recognition device. Sounds as futuristic and complex as a space center.
Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photo.
Look at
Look.
This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through.
I see. That's very different than what I had in mind. And is there a record of the number of people that passed through that door yesterday?
Yes.
Do we
there
have
were only-
comms?
Yes, there were only 3. The defendant, the victim, and... the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos.
We found our killer.
Then does
Then doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one who did it?
Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28, doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts.
He has a point. I guess the director can't be considered a suspect then.
A biometric door lock operated by fingerprint recognition. Only the defendant, the victim, and the Space Center's director had a...
Yes.
The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge.
Hold it!
So while it would appear that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. How many times am I gonna slam this table? That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct?
You're wrong.
You got it. In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole fucking time. If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing.
Is there any chance Mr. Terran could have been killed before he boarded the rocket?
They were both alive and well at boarding time and embarked under their own power. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams of space.
And then both of their hopes and dreams were dashed.
If I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue.
But after the escape of one of the 2 was found stabbed to death.
Hold it!
Fuck.
And who was the first to find the victim?
Actually, there were 2 of them.
There's 2 of them? The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm.
One of them was a detective?
Yep, Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see. She and a director were ordering the evacuation following the explosions. They were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding lounge. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant.
2 witnesses, huh? And one of them is a detective. I doubt either one would have anything to say that would help me. Well, damn. When does this case take place, Bars?
It takes place before the first one in this game.
All right.
I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the farmer was killed. If this is the truth, then only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime.
What little I could get out of him only hurt my case.
Justice Donald. Foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you take the gander at this.
What is it?
Star Platinum, the stand of Jotaro Kujo. It's also security camera footage. As the 2 astronauts emerge from the bowels of Launchpad 1 corridor, the boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I will direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering, which you can see is not other than the lifeless body of the victim.
What?
Damn, he's a killer! I knew it!
Hey yo, shut the fuck up! No, this lines up exactly with what the prosecution has been asserting.
I should have known Blackwell would have something like this ready.
Video showing the defendant and victim's escape from the corridor to the boarding lounge.
Apollo? How exactly did they determine that Clay was already dead from the footage?
Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at this point is pretty crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Terran was still alive here and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him?
One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
Silence.
I hate Frens. Perhaps that's what it looked like to a one-eyed hothead dotard. But it only makes sense if it's the victim's dead body.
What do you mean?
Fool Wright. Explain it to Justice Dono. My voice hurts.
You got it. Ready, kid? If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone can enter the lounge, after all. But doing it while they were alone in a spaceship, that's a horse of a different color.
Objection!
Racism?
You can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out.
Silence.
Your assertion is based on emotion. It's based on your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. But you have no logical explanation as to why the victim could still be alive.
Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic.
It sounded perfectly logical to me.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time we bring this cross-examination to a close.
Objections? Well,
I have an objection. Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think.
Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need
What is it, Athena?
It's just there's something that's been bothering me.
If it isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. Very well. I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time.
For once? Yes!
Bro, he just did a LeBron James to Darvin Ham move.
You have 5 seconds.
5?
After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed and a verdict to be rendered. Your boldness, raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown.
Oh, you just gonna let him run this shit?
Oh, all right, my nigga, down.
Ready?
We don't have time. Spit it out, Athena.
Only 3 more seconds.
Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete.
Meaning?
Meaning there's something missing. Like, they conveniently left it unexplained?
Something they didn't explain. Something they didn't explain. Something they didn't explain. Aha! You're right! I think I know what you're talking about.
You do?
Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice.
That was
Is
bullshit.
there anything
like-
about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebuke
Son be okay,
or rebut?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There's something that the prosecution has yet to make clear on to this court. Yeah.
Well, if you put it that way. What is it the prosecution has failed to explain?
Why was the body?
That is some weird freaky shit, ain't it? I choose it.
I didn't know they had roles activated for this round of Among Us.
Girl.
It failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all.
The freaky turnabout.
Oh my gosh.
If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why didn't he just leave the body in the rocket? I go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge.
Yeah, that explosion
Oh.
could have incinerated his ass.
That's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet.
That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? Be about to blow our whole shit up. The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong?
Then let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice.
The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him.
Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologue. Inform him exactly why Spaceboy moved the victim.
Huh? You gotta be joking.
It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself.
Simple.
He wanted to create the impression he heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's why he made sure to make it to the security camera so there would be a record.
At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man.
Ah,
One man carrying the order to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sob story fit for the silver screen.
Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story.
You see? Yet the true ending is that all traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion.
What are you talking about? There's no third explosion.
Silence.
Indeed, you are correct. But that is thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. The steel coffin beside the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport case. We used that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy.
What?
One on the second floor of the main building, one on the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 firework displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, for had it not, the victim's body and other vital evidence would surely have been immolated.
Objection!
You shut your mouth. Before you utter another word, know that the evidence supports me.
Okay. It's like he's reading my mind.
As it is still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets. Specifically, a bomb detonator switch.
Found what?
Bombs.
I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the Space Center director and Detective Arms stumbled across the murder, so he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble brain that he is.
Oh, Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that.
Justice Dono, open your eyes and see the truth.
Only have one eye lowered.
There seems to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions.
Oh, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth.
Still can't accept it? You'll believe in your client come what may. Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself?
This has got to be a trap.
Like Blackwell's controlling the entire video game.
Yeah, it seemed like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue.
Why did you say that?
He had just the right argument when I pointed it out. And to really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve too.
This reminds me of when Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams.
He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down.
Then making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan too?
Breakdown.
Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Now, let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself, the famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck.
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. Oh,
Come on, bro.
how did this happen?
Mr. Starbuck, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony?
Oh, no.
Well, unfortunately, no is not an option. You are being accused of the Space Center bombing and murder of Clay Terran. Please testify to these allegations.
Mind if I take this suit off? It's getting really heavy.
Silence.
It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life.
Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore.
Take me to hell.
Wow, that was extremely negative. Is he gonna be alright over there?
He'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. Oh, Apollo.
It was me. Oh.
Right.
All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got to the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him.
So you assert you didn't set off the bombs, or a murder victim?
Ha ha. Ha ha ha. I bet you think I'm lying, right?
I reserve all judgment until after I've heard your full testimony.
Do you though?
Oh, I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut.
I don't think the judge doubts that.
Who would wear a suit like that except for an astronaut?
An imposter.
I will say that when I saw you in that movie, you appeared quite courageous, though I suppose reality never quite lives up to the fantasy.
Damn, the Phaith.
I guess I'm just a big disappointment.
Never meet your heroes.
It's just like me for real.
I really don't care what happens anymore.
Oh no, he's completely given up.
What a depressing fellow. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sighing of yours would be rub off on the other inmates.
Damn.
Like I rubbed off a Prosecutor Blackwell just a second ago?
Huh? That was Blackwell sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction.
Damn, I wish I remembered that. I would have did it.
Question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun shy now. It's time to find out the truth.
Gunshot. Can we look at the map? The space station?
Which one?
The one on the left. Even though I don't think that's the answer.
I just wanted to look at it, because, like, I don't know if I was going to say if the elevators were working during the explosion. I guess it wouldn't tell you.
Well, let's look at the other one.
Okay.
Ah!
You couldn't take the elevator then. Isn't this on the last statement?
Let's go.
Tablez.
I suppose, bro.
Objection!
Mr. Starbucks, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible.
Was I not being accurate?
No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level.
Oh, why must you say that, Mr. Justice?
Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. I also recall that after the explosion, the middle level was engulfed in flames.
Oh, you're right. Which means...
Exactly. The Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words... Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts.
Nigga, where'd that come from?
What's the helmet?
Mission Command, do you read me? Come in, please.
Pay attention.
Damn, I don't know what
Damn,
happened to
I
you.
heard none of that
Read
shit.
again.
Cutting
This
out.
is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck.
Oh, my helmet! Oh, my oxygen tank! Oxygen concentration and body temperature declining. Requesting medical assistance.
Dude,
Are you the killer or
you
not?
just started.
Yes.
Look,
Yeah.
Starbuck an alien. Where?
Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now.
Is that a PTSD attack?
Please stop pretending that you have lost consciousness and stand the fuck up.
I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth.
Me too.
I feel like we all got a real glimpse of the Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut.
Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle level elevator?
I was nervous and I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Instead of the space helmet, he was wearing a Freddy mask.
I actually took a different route, I think.
Different route?
I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time.
None of that gay shit. I'll get it right this time. Maybe. No, I mean, probably.
Probably.
It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court.
If only. Remembered
Perjury?
that.
What's that? That's never mattered in these attorneys. Silly, silly, silly.
Let's see. My escape route, what I said before was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe, probably. With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level.
She might be the Rose.
Imagine.
Prototype.
So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator?
It's the rose made out of meteorites.
The heavy ass nigga.
That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. I used that ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so I could make our escape that way.
And the capsule you mentioned, I suppose you mean the thing next to Mr. Terran here? Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you?
It almost goes without saying, but yeah. That capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. The spacesuit on Clay weighed a ton, but securing the capsule was also important.
I need you to answer to the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is riding on your testimony.
Maybe I am guilty after all. I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. I bet it's more comfortable than a spaceship.
Hell no.
There's a joke I can make there.
Me too.
But you won't.
Just thought you guys should know.
Let's
Nah, I get
see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake. Oops.
Okay.
Oopsies. I believe him.
I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe.
X.
With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level.
Okay, so he said they took the ladder. Let's look at the ladder. Picture.
Which one?
Let's look at the one on the left first. Okay. I mean, there is a ladder, and it does go to the upper level.
On Pyro.
Can we look at that security cam footage? Wait, go back to the the victim's escape from the corridor to the boarding lounge.
Yeah, that only showed the
Look at the
corridor
map
boarding.
again, real quick.
Corridor
Okay.
to lounge.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, let's look at the bombing thing again. Picture. Just want to look at it. Okay, yeah, you could probably take. What's that thing next to the CD? Launchpad 1 door lock. Oh, I don't think that's.
What does that note say again?
Evacuation report? What's that envelope say? The manila envelope?
That's the autopsy.
I know, we never looked at the details of it. Let's look at it. Oh, it's just a picture, never mind. Wait. This actually might be useful. He carried out the shit, but the shit was left behind. I'm confused.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he also carried out the body too, and that was dead. You know?
Let's look at the picture again. The security cam footage. Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Maybe we gotta press on. Maybe we gotta press.
Oh no, you would tell us. Press all, unless you want to just press it.
Not. We didn't press anything. That's what I mean.
Wait. Before y'all do that bullshit, open that map again.
Which one? Oh, that one.
You said, okay, go back. You said he made his way down where?
The ladder.
He went down the ladder. And what does the security cam footage say?
Nigga, how? He had 2 shits covered his hand. He couldn't. Well, whatever.
I guess you can press that.
That's why we should press him.
Press this. Yeah.
Well, whatever. The upper level of the launch pad area.
That's right. That's what I said, isn't it?
Granted, that route does exist. So to recap, you and Clay over your right shoulder and the capsule in your left hand.
Yeah, it's really important. So I couldn't let it get burned up. So even though Clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. I did the best I could with him over one shoulder, and the capsule in my other hand.
Hell no.
I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet.
You know what you have to do with that statement, Justice Dono?
Yes, I know. Well, I've come this far. No turning back now. It's time to present some evidence.
So Mr. Starbuck escaped with Clay in the capsule, which means it's just like in footage. I can see why he couldn't run though.
He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself.
Yeah, and he had to support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. Plus, he had to ensure the safety of those space rods. I don't think I could have even walked in that circumstance.
Walking straight forward is probably about all I would have been able to manage. Well, let's see. What do we present?
What is the second? What's the picture with the 2 bombs?
Second floor on the main building, middle level of the launch pad near the elevator.
I think it's either that or the other map. Because nigga could not go down no fucking ladder like that. Stairs, maybe. Well, definitely stairs.
Yeah, we can try it.
On the last one statement.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth?
The truth. Let's see. This blue. No, that's not right. So, I guess the Earth isn't blue. Yeah, that's it.
I thought he was going to say the Earth was flat.
And it would have been fine.
The truth, Mr. The dang. The truth, Mr. Starbuck.
The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare the emergency oxygen tanks.
Shut that shit down.
Mr. Justice, the victim, the witness appears confused. Please help draw the truth from him.
Yeah, confused.
Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. What does that face remind me of? Not as long as this was along the escape route.
In the way?
No, the ladder.
Yeah.
Take that!
To get down from the upper to the middle level where the Launchpad 1 corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck?
Of course. That was the only way we could escape.
Objection!
So what'd you do? You just threw him over? Like,
I threw him
how
on
would
the
that
floor.
work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? Remember, he was in full space gear as well, putting him at over 200 pounds.
Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity's only 1/6 of what it is on Earth.
Objection!
Bitch.
But the Space Center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other, is impossible. Wouldn't you say? So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down the ladder with your arms full? Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth, now!
Yeah, like, god damn, bro.
Engineer! Where's that engineer?
Bro, no engineer is saving your song, dude. Just speak up.
Oxygen leak.
Yo!
Oh, look at him go!
He's
What the
flying
fuck?
the coop!
Help! I'm caught on the ceiling. Help! Anyone?
How the fuck?
Nah, just leave him up there. Leave him up there
What
as an
was that
example.
Sheriff, prepare that damn cherry picker. We must launch our rescue mission at once.
No, leave him up there as an example.
Oh, that's one way to take off while being questioned.
I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real.
Need to tie him down.
Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground?
Yes, I apologize for losing control.
Are you ready to tell us? Not
Not that. Anything but that.
What's going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know.
It
Blackwell is
appears
locked in.
Space Boy is prone to deception. Witness.
Yikes! Yes.
I thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect.
Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't talk about that.
What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Didn't I already state that Space Boy is, ironically, terrified of going into space? That's why he took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system.
Per 30, my nigga, this'll fuck your shit up.
Oh. I sense things are about to nosedive.
You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear.
It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be?
Somebody must have slipped them to me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember, because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened.
What?
Jeez, my throat's killing me, but I can't think of another voice without sounding like Darian. Order! Order in the court.
We can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything.
Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing.
Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember?
I guess he didn't want anyone to find out he was terrified of going into space.
This dude's a fraud.
Oh, maybe I really did do it.
Which brings us to the answer of our original question, of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body.
It does? Care to fill me in?
A dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, Justice Dono. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of a ladder.
Oh, my.
Actually?
Oh, I see. The defendant could climb down with his free hand.
Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Come on, Apollo, even I... Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks on the body itself. There you go.
So you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct.
Really? Oh, shit, thanks. Oh, what's this?
It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why.
You can't be implying it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body.
I am, for they fracture easily when struck.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and the shrapnel would leave marks on the body. Yet according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. Slams table. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence!
Ew.
A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological devices and is made of the fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect astronauts from dangers of space. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer.
Objection!
Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well?
It should. And yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit's structure and found its way into the target.
Wow, that's mighty convenient. Yeah, what are the chances?
You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself, with knowledge of how the suits work.
Oh, great. Nigga. He's got me there.
And now my argument has been proven. Space Boy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped his body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded them. There's no room for debate about these facts. It is clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran.
Ah!
Here, the report regarding the astronauts' oxygen tanks. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the river Styx. The victim's tank was ruptured with 0% left, and the defendants had 80%. Remaining oxygen is displayed on the left shoulder.
Hey, this report's pretty detailed.
Let's see. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining. I guess that means these glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen in the tank.
Oh, I'm done for. I'm going to piss it instead of space.
Space Boy.
Yes.
Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still as beautiful even when viewed through bars.
Oh, you mean the stars is seen from prison?
That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time.
I know you can speak from experience.
That's not a half bad thought.
You might get put on death row! Mr. Starbuck? Prosecutor Blackwell got to him good.
Spaceship, prison cell. Fly me, my guilt, and my despair into the deepest and darkest space.
Great asset to the company.
And then, let's get sucked into a black hole together.
Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope.
Already too late, man.
Yes, Apollo.
No, Clay really looked up to you. He said you're an incredible man. He said you'd never give up on your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation.
He said that?
So don't give up now and help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in your... in Clay Terran. I read that wrong.
For Clay?
You're wasting your breath.
You're wasting your oxygen.
This feels like the case of all time. The fuck?
So now he's giving the thumbs up.
Wait a minute. I'm white.
Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now.
Mr. Starbuck.
I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission.
Was that easy?
Right. We'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. After that, we'll get you back into space.
Hurrah! You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul! I'm on fire! I am Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. There's no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down.
Balderdash.
The sun, the moon, all of space is calling me. Solomon Saul Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5,
4,
3.
2.
Guilty.
Lift off!
This dude, oh my
That look
god.
like a dick.
We'll be able
Hey.
to throat tattoo.
Oh, well. I feel like I just witnessed an actual rocket launch.
Apollo, you did it! He's no
Blackwell
longer
wants to kill
depressed.
himself right now. This bullshit.
He broke Blackwell's grip over Starbuck.
What? Never mind. I can't take the credit. It was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through.
If you simpletons are done massaging in one of those egos, no matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. I have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your baldness?
Gah. I can't let him now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. I've got to destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice, think! If the only people at the launch pad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck, and if Clay was already dead by the time this footage was taken, then the only person who could have killed him is Mr. Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. In which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Let's see. But this data that we just received supposedly proved that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body on pad 1. If I'm going to prove that false, then there must be something I can use here.
Enough of this farce, your baldness. Let's have your verdict.
Objection!
Shut up, bitch! Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush.
Yo.
Right, hurry up.
Nothing.
What about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now? It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining, while Mr. Terran had 0. So you stand by the accuracy of this report?
Of course.
Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes.
You will explain what you mean, Justice Darnell.
He slams on the fucking table. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look here at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean.
I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice.
Because I
Because I
can't
don't-
read.
Because I don't see what's so contradictory.
Because I'm blind.
Bars.
Yes, Your Honor, right away. This is the evidence that the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to. Dang, can I read that? Is that the note?
Yeah. I didn't even get to. Oh, I guess it says it right there. Oh, get display
The
on that.
display? Yeah.
Victim has at 0. Starbuck at 80. Tanks for functioning properly. Time. Hmm.
Literally.
Claims to have carried it said it was at
Little,
80%. Thanks for functioning properly at the time. Alright, go back.
little.
Evidence that the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to. And then look at the picture.
The security? Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't look like an 8 to me.
Dang, bruh. These analog digital clocks always gotta tell the wrong time.
That's pretty digital to me. Anyway, present this.
Do we agree?
I don't know, it's table.
I'm thinking, bro. Sure. Fuck it.
What?
George.
And how does this evidence present a contradiction?
Okay. The problem is this part here.
Yeah, you gotta show
Number.
your work to the teacher now.
Click on the text over there under the hand symbol on that machine. Thank
Why?
No,
Click on
you're
the
right.
50. Click on the 50. Click on the 50. Click on the 50.
Dang, almost had him. Note the remaining oxygen on Mr. Starbucks' tank as he carries Mr. Terran.
Appears to say 50.
Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining.
The oxygen in the tank increased.
From the clan.
Yeah, I absorbed that shit.
Sorry. I see your honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there is a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical.
Oh my! You're absolutely right. The fuck going on here?
Silence.
Yeah, here comes
I
Blackwell
too
with-
find it odd that the oxygen remaining is increased. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase.
Stupid.
Okay.
But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse.
Objection.
You one of those, bro. Never mind, bro. You get down.
I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations because you probably don't abide by the fucking rules.
Damn.
Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase, starving bitch. Are you hungry? Therefore, this new information is critical. You can't overlook it.
Silence.
How would
In
you
that
tell your
case-
stomach rumbling the silence?
In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of the mysteriously increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as mere equipment malfunction. Oh, and by the way, I had a very wonderful meal today when your mom came over to my cell.
Oh dear.
The Blackwell has a point.
I mean, his mother is, well,
You know, she's kind of dead. That's a low blow, Blackwell. Shame on you.
Lemure is not dead.
Wait,
I
she's not.
suppose.
No.
Fuck,
No.
I gotta reread. Damn.
You're thinking of the other one.
I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counter-argument to this point,
I will kill you.
I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So, do you think you could explain why the remaining oxygen level increased?
Of course I can.
Damn.
Damn.
All right.
That's where the oxygen
Someone's
went. We found
bidet
it.
went off.
The thing I do at a time like this is
Why
I
does it
do
have
at a
to be
time.
a bidet?
The thing I do at a time like this is turn my thinking around.
What if there were gaming chairs that came with bidets?
I'd be really mad.
Ew, no. Mr. Starbuck, never mind. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried clay. So this man with the 50 on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what should I be asking is not why did the oxygen levels increase, but what had to have happened to make it look like it increased? Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here?
Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased.
They were going the other way? Look.
I don't know why, but I think the game wants to go to the twist that's in the middle.
Victim was carrying a defendant. Oh. That makes. I mean, you can't really see who's who.
That is fine.
And he said he didn't remember anything, so actually.
It makes sense.
Also, I don't think the game expects us to have like knowledge about air pressure and all that weird shit that could make oxygen increase in a room. Anyways, what if the other way or whatever? Yeah, the other yeah.
The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage. But as it turns out, this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. Because, you know, it wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge.
Shut the fuck up, Mr. Justice! You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim, Clay Terran?
It's the only way the riddle of increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%.
That's right. Nothing contradictory about the oxygen.
That means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape to the lounge.
Silence.
How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full?
Objection.
Prosecutor Blackwell, you can't hurt me with a broken blade.
Excuse me?
Damn, turn that shit.
It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. But we have proven that Mr. Terran was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims. And opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene. But we can we truly trust their statements? A tongue twister. Truly trust.
Let's see. The two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them might have been given a false statement to the police?
Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging.
It seems we'll have to hear the testimony of the first two people on the scene.
Score.
Come to think of it, Detective Arms should be here in court right now. Bailiff! Could you please show Detective Arm to the stand?
Why aren't they showing the Yuri guy? They don't have a picture of him.
Oh, this dude.
Oh, brother.
I have an announcement, everyone.
What the fuck?
What's the meaning of this? We're kind of in the middle of a trial here.
Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. Oh, wait, he's not talking through his shit. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode.
Explode.
Oh shit, we're all gonna die!
What the Sigma?
A bomb? Now?
I wanna die!
Die!
Oh no, everyone's freaking out! Even though they're standing in place instead of running around.
Like they didn't have the budget to animate it. Hush, Phaith. Hush, hush, hush.
Headless chickens with a death wish, the lot of you. Calm yourselves afore all else.
Capcom broke?
Come on, Apollo, let's settle.
What about Mr. Starbuck's dream? And who will carry out Clay's final wish?
The fuck, bitch?
I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow the truth up forever.
I'm a goofy goober, rock.
I refuse to let things end here.
Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're all gonna die. Come on, this way!
Come on, the portal's this
Chase,
way.
ouch! Let me go! I hate being a short nigga.
I hate
Thomas
being
would.
5'7".
Apollo! Apollo!
The Juniper? She hasn't evacuated yet? I read that in my mind like I was him.
You're really getting into character.
Juniper, are you alright?
Apollo, no! Don't go that way!
Ah!
Nigga died. I miss him so much.
Got hurt shielding her.
My leg!
To be continued. Next time on Dragon Ball.
Table, shut the fuck up.